It's not glorious, but it's the best I can do. And it's the toe of your sock, so unless you're like me and you're gonna rock some Birkenstocks with your socks. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Okay. 12 on one needle. Now I'll do 12 on the next. Socks and Birkenstocks are never out of style. Ever. I don't care what anyone says. I'll be wearing them forever. Especially now that I know how to knit socks. Like, are you kidding me? Of course I'm gonna wear socks with everything. I plan my shoe purchases now on whether my knitted socks can stick out of them, because that's awesome. So I was doing more inventory for Fiber Forward today, and it's incredible what everyone's been donating. I mean, being able to give people the best fibers to knit with when they're new or if they can't afford it is just the best feeling. It's so rad. All right. Okay, breathe. So we have the 2 needles side by side. Here we go. We're gonna get started. Get my other needle here, 3rd needle. So we're gonna put this 3rd needle here through the front of the 1st stitch in the front needle, which is right there. And then we're gonna do the front of the back needle stitch. We're gonna knit the 2 together like normal, okay? Okay, so we're through both of them. And then we're going to take the 2 off. Okay, so we have 2 together already with the 1. Now we have to knit 1 more stitch the same way because we're going to be casting off, right? So we're going to knit these 2 together, same technique, through the front in the front needle and then through the front on the back needle. Now we have 2 stitches, right? So then the next step is you're going to cast off 1 stitch in the normal way. So, I mean, I'm just going to use one of these needles and lift that 1st stitch up and over, and now it's off. That's the easiest way I can do it without involving a 4th needle, because it just doesn't seem like it's necessary. So we're going to repeat these steps until we're cast off. So we're just going to knit another 2 together. Oops, yarn split. Sorry, pretty yarn. Okay. It's incredible to think of all the steps that get to the point of casting off a sock, right? So the yarn, where did the sheep live? What were their lives like? Who was their shepherd? And what was their life like? And then the mill for the people who processed it. And then the people who dyed the yarn or hand spun it. And then how it gets through all the different channels to get to us, to be able to use it. And then the people who learned these techniques before us and invented it, passed it down. It's really incredible if you think of all the lives intertwined in making one sock. And then you think about the people who made these needles and designed them, and I just lost a stitch. Come back, little stitch. There we go. Crisis averted, I think. Nope. It's okay. Where was I? There we go. And we're back. I got all distracted thinking about other people's lives. And the trees that made this awesome needle. And it just kind of amazes me. And that we're sitting here talking about it is pretty cool. Just working through the rest of these little dudes. If you haven't joined on another video, you'll notice that my hands shake a little bit, and that's from surgery that I had when I was a gymnast. So especially working with these like smaller needles, it does take me a little bit more time to like cast off, and I know some of this yarn split and it's not going to be perfect for me because that's my situation. So I have a hard time studying things, but I still manage to make socks. So if I can do this, anyone can do it. So I just take my time. I'm just patient with myself. And I think, with your first socks, that's what it has to be, right? Like, I'm not a veteran sock knitter. I've been learning this with you. This is my first sock pattern that I've knit. And I think doing tutorials together when you're learning something is pretty cool. Makes this like super human experience because we can make errors together and it's totally okay. Thanks for being patient with me while I get all these cast off. We're getting there. I don't know how people do this like super fast. Maybe they're just experts. Okay, we're getting really close. This is my favorite part of a project, honestly. This is the binding off. So if this takes a little while, that's okay. It's like the most rewarding part. Wow, those two are really easy. No! Okay. Crisis averted. Drop the stitch, just pick it back up. Very last one. Okay, so now we have this very last stitch, and then we are going to pull this off here like you normally would, right? So it's like, it's tight now, right? What Rose and Nellie recommended doing is threading a needle with the yarn goodness gracious. Okay, here we go. And just threading it through this remaining stitch here. So that's what I'm going to do. So we have the stitch, right? And I'm going to go through it one more time. To tighten it down, right? So I've tightened it down, and then it does recommend running the thread in and out of stitches a few times. So that's just what I'm going to do. And I'm going to go in through whatever holes I kind of feel like going in through, because that's how I do it. And you don't want to make like a huge lump or anything, right? So there's one. And two. Let's do three just for good measure. All right, friends. Are we ready for the big reveal? Okay. So there's the toe of your sock. Looks awesome. And then we have the foot. Your heel and your gusset. And your cuff. And we have a finished sock. Thank you for joining me.